First of all, you're Filipino with a straight up beard. I expect that. This guy had fucking Al-Qaeda beard. I'm like, bro, what? I feel like you put banana ketchup on it or something.
What's going on? This is Jason Insight, and this is my co-host, Kat Serrano. You're now watching the Future Ancestors podcast. Got a special guest here in the building today. I'm going to give my little intro and everything like that. But Keith Pedro is a comedian from Toronto, Ontario, Canada. He trained at the Humber Comedy Program in Ontario under Mike Myers' mentor and longtime Second City Toronto training leader, Alan Gutman. Keith was featured comedian on the show Video on Trial on Much Music. His comedy album Trillapino was nominated for a Juno Award for Best Comedy Album of the Year. He's been part of the comedy series Roast Battle Canada, which received not one but 2 Canadian Screen Award nominations for Best Performance in a variety or sketch comedy program or series. Most importantly, he was featured in the 9th episode of the 10th season of the show Degrassi, The Next Generation, as IMDb describes as his character as, I quote, rough teen. You can catch him doing stand-up all over North America, including headlining gigs at Canada's legendary Yuck Yucks and currently in New York City. We're glad to chop it up with him as he makes his stop over here. So welcome to the Future Ancestors podcast, Keith Pedro.
Damn,
welcome.
bro.
Welcome.
You guys, you did some research, bro. This guy digged up the crates. That was
Well, you're Canadian. I know you have a like my man Nardwar. We had to come correct, you know.
Yeah, you came with it, bro. I was like, do they owe me money? How they so nice to me? But oh, thanks for having me, man. I'm glad we all worked this out. This is a dope spot.
Oh, yeah, you know.
Yeah, you know, this is woo.
Yeah.
I feel like this. What floor is this?
21.
21? Oh, I feel like this is a Wall Street jump when things are going bad. This is
All right, so let's start it off. Future Answers podcast. We talk about Filipinos in North America. So let's break it down. Where's your family from in the Philippines? Because I think one thing people forget is like we try to go back to the roots.
Yeah.
No, I rep hard, bro. I'm Ilocano, so Pangasinan. You know what I mean? So my mom is from Urdaneta.
Okay.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And shout out to my road warrior, Norm. He's in the building, too, but he's also Ilocano, so we do this together. We do this together as Ilocanos. We call ourselves the Trillacanos, so we just keep it 100 everywhere we go. But no, I think my dad was from Manila.
Okay.
Yeah, but he spoke Ilocano as well. So he probably finessed my mom that way.
Ah, okay.
All right.
Interesting.
Just quick aside, because I want to make a point, too, because my family comes from Iloilo, and we are Ilonggos.
Yeah.
Ilonggo, Ilocano, we're two different.
Yeah,
we all
totally
love.
different, yeah.
I'm going to be like, yo, I'm from Iloilo. Oh, you Ilocano? I'm like, kind of? So,
Yeah.
You know.
No, yeah. It's we're not same cloth but different pattern.
Exactly.
Does it make sense? Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a pretty fast analogy.
Yeah, that was
pretty
that was good. I was like, wow, okay.
Make that connection.
That was quick.
No, I am. My wife knows I'm very quick as well. But that's up to you to decide what I'm quick at. Quick at making dinner, quick at putting my kids to bed. You know what I mean? It's up to you guys. I don't know how you guys do this podcast.
Texter.
So
Quick texter.
So was there a key moment in your upbringing that influenced your journey as a comedian?
Very soft-spoken voice, Kat, I must say. Very, I like that. Very soothing. Key moment? You know what was funny? One of my teachers like, you could be a comedian.
Really?
And then we had to do this thing in Toronto in my school. We had to do speeches. And I don't know if you guys had to do that. You had to pick a topic and then go up, practice your public speaking. And
Wait,
then,
this is in high school?
no, elementary school. I
was gonna
think
ask
this
how
was
old
like
you were.
6th grade, maybe.
Well,
Oh,
you know,
okay.
Canadian education is way better
I
than
know,
the United States.
seriously.
That's college level stuff. I didn't do speech class till college.
Yeah, no, we had to. The crazy thing, we did it from, I think, all of elementary school from grade 4 up. So there was one year where I'm just like, fuck it. I'm just gonna wing it this time. And then it was the same teacher that's like, are you should be a comedian. And then that year, they're like, all right, guys, I'm going to put numbers on the board, write, everybody, like, I'm going to pull a name out the hat. You write the number of when you want to do the speech.
Mm-hmm.
So I picked, there's like 30 kids in the class. I picked like 28. I was like, fuck it, I'm just going to roast everybody's speech. You know what I mean? And then I thought, thinking, my teacher was like, you should be a comedian. So I made fun of everybody's speech. He took me aside. He's like, that was a stand-up comedy act. You think you are Eddie Murphy? But like, motherfucker, you just told me
that I could
like,
be.
you're the one who gave me this confidence. Sorry, my mic's limping.
Yeah, I'm
no,
How was your family's overall reaction of your whole comedy career?
it's weird, bro. It's weird. There's, some of them would be like, you're still doing that. You know what I mean? And other of them was like, oh, keep going. You know what I mean? So it was weird. But the thing was, it got, obviously I did a lot of stuff for TV. So they stopped talking smack.
Yeah.
When they saw me on TV and stuff like that. So they were like,
they
oh,
understood
it's
it.
actually,
Yeah.
and then the thing was I did some stuff for TFC. The Filipino channel. So, and then once they see you on that, now it's game over.
Yeah,
It doesn't even matter. I did stuff with Kevin Hart and Just for Laughs. Shit didn't mean nothing, bro. Oh, you were on a TV show with Russell Peters? Nothing.
Yeah.
But oh my God.
The
TFC. Channel 1149.
You know
what I
why?
mean?
Every Filipino like grocery store, they got that on in the background.
Yeah,
so
bro.
They could brag about you over there because they know they're like, oh, wait.
Yeah,
That's
what's the newspaper? The Mabini Express or whatever? Like one of those freaking newspapers?
like
Yeah, you
Asian
see,
Journal
Yeah,
or
like you
whatnot,
see
yeah.
my picture on that. It doesn't matter, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, whew. Once your face is beside the synagogue mix at the store, bro, you made it. Doesn't even matter, bro. Don't even matter.
Yo, that's so true.
Did you ever feel pressured to have like a prototypical career, like for that Filipinos normally do, like a nurse or a doctor,
Oh man, the crazy, kind of. I felt it because my brother is an accountant. All my cousins are nurses or teachers.
Okay.
Right. Like in Canada, like when you're a teacher, it's a good bag because you get like health benefits, all like all kinds of shit. And so it was just kind of like another safer route.
Yeah.
So the crazy thing though is because I'm in Canada, there's not as much Filipinos in America, obviously, right? So when I started touring the States, it was like such a eye opener because American Filipinos like you guys are doing this shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if I were to do like a Filipino podcast, it would be like at a debut while a Filipino basketball game's going on. Like there'd be so much things happening. You know what I mean? There'd be so much things happening where but now we're starting to progress more into the creative side. So there was so much pressure because they're like, oh, if that fails, what are you gonna do, man? Are you gonna have a pension? Like, what are you gonna do, Keith? Can't tell jokes all day. And then I have cousins in the Bay Area who like own a sneaker shop. They do tattoos. I got another cousin out from Long Beach who sings and does this. And I met all these other like creative Filipinos. I'm like, oh, I'm normal.
Yeah.
I'm like everybody else. So so there was kind of pressure, but without sounding cliche, like I had to go to like America to see that I was, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it's crazy how like my parents lived a Filipino dream, but I still have to complete that dream. Like they migrated to a better place, but I'm like, in another country, I'm like, I still have to migrate to a better place. You know what I mean? Like with my craft, it's like my parents came here on a fucking boat or whatever, a plane with nothing. And I'm just like, yeah, that wasn't good enough. Now I gotta get my kids and move more to the place with more dreams.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was just
But
sad
I
truth.
think the funny thing about that too is being Canadian. Also, there's just like a history of like comedians from Canada crossing the border and then doing it over here too. So it's there's another one adding to that legacy as well.
Yeah, there's definitely a template over there. There's a lot of like John Candy, Russell Peters. You know what I mean? Jim Carrey, all Canadian. Seth Rogen. So there's definitely like you can definitely make it out if you're funny. And I think
I
about.
didn't even know Seth Rogen was Canadian.
Yeah,
so.
he's from Vancouver. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So I think what with Canadians too is I'm Toronto. Like it's like New York too. Like we interact with every type of person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? in the world. So we kind of
It is like a little for us. I mean, maybe our perspective is like it's like a New York also. You know, maybe
Yeah.
we just saw it like that, just kind of like the vibe. You know.
yeah.
Yeah.
I love Toronto. Love Toronto.
It's Toronto's the best, but it's also like, you know, the worst. Yeah.
Wait. What do you mean by that? Though?
Like it's when you're there. Like we were just having this talk, man. Like Toronto's a great city to build you. You know what I mean? But that's it. You're done. Like Toronto and Canada won't give you love until America gives you love. Do you know what I'm saying? Like you can't. If you can name me the most famous Canadian person that stayed Canadian, I'll give you $1,000 right now, but you will never find it. You know what I mean? There won't be any person that's just like Jim Carrey had to leave Canada to be famous. Like, you know what I'm saying? So like other people they have to leave. There's a ceiling. So it's a good place to become an artist, but it's not a good place to live as an artist.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if you're like a white Canadian guy and fucking right there, but you know, hockey jokes, yeah, you'll make it. You're great. But like Filipino guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I also love it too because I do this full time. I write on TV shows. I be on TV shows, and like I get to live my dream, but no one bugs me at the grocery store. So it's like this is still great.
Yeah.
I'm still like, you know,
You're
I'm
living your dream.
super introverted.
Yeah, yeah.
If that makes sense.
Well, congratulations to you for
Oh, thank
making
you.
it out of Toronto.
I'm trying, man. I'm fucking trying out there with your weird colored money. I'm trying to get the fuck out. Drake's gone shit right now. I gotta leave, man. I gotta leave.
I didn't even want to bring that up. I was like, yo, let me not bring that up.
We want to play a game with you real quick.
Uh-oh.
Basically, how the game goes is it's a word said with a Filipino accent, and you gotta decipher what English word you're
Okay.
looking at, okay?
Okay. Education. Oh my God. What is that? Education.
Put it
Does
together.
it fit? That's an English word?
Yes.
Education?
Education. Wait.
Education.
Yes.
Oh, education.
My mom always talked about this. Education. So important.
So what was the moment you realized you could make a career out of comedy?
I'm still waiting for that. To tell you the truth. No, I'm joking. You don't know what the day. No, I'm playing. There was a lot of times where I did shows, and you like I started comedy when my son was like a baby, right? So there was times where like I would produce my own shows and do things, and I'm like I was coming home with money, and I was like, and that's the greatest feeling when you came home with like money and you're paying for diapers and formula, and like, oh man. And I think that was it. Like I said, like, and then plus like, I hate to say this, but like, you know, social media just came out too when I was coming up. So I was like, as long as I can just, if I'm not going to be a performer, at least I can produce shows. You know, at least I could make money off ticket sales somehow. And that was always in my back of my head. But then I just got signed as a headliner and just things like that. You know what I mean? And
That's amazing.
it just kept rolling. So I knew that, you know, coming home with money to feed my family. That moment was like, you're like, ah, man.
That's awesome.
You know what I mean? And now, like,
Yeah.
you're talking about like your kid stuff. Like, I'm Mrs. Doubtfire. My wife works during the day. I'm like, you know, if I'm not on the road, I'm home. So I'm like making the lunches, and I'm,
Oh yeah.
you know, and I'm cooking and
I'm
that
totally
stuff.
the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
love
So
that.
she'll call me and be like, hey, where's the, you know what I mean? Where's this and that? And I'm like, oh, baby, oh, it's in the oven, like, you know, the wooden spoon in the pot, you know. So, but she does a lot too. Like we're just a good team. You know what I mean?
I love
But
that.
that's the
gotta
best
be
thing
like
too.
that,
She's
yeah.
ride or die. She's been with me from the jump. It's like I was using her car to go to open mics and stuff. So I feel like that's another thing that helps you.
Yeah.
Like
you have that
when you
support.
have a moment where you're like, oh, I can feed my family this, but also knowing that your family is gonna be there.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
So you don't get that moment unless you have that person to share that moment.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Yeah. Here comes the cheesy side of the fucking.
That's beautiful.
Here comes the Pisces side of the interview.
No, but that's purpose, you know.
Yeah.
And like what you're doing for it at the end of the day. Yeah. It's like.
Yeah, and it means a lot more because I be on the road with some of these comics and I watching these guys just blow money from the gig, just chasing ass, and I'm like, I'm gonna go FaceTime my wife and eat pizza in my room while you guys here looking like fools. Right? You know what I mean? But, yeah.
So your comedy album Trillapino received a lot of love, including a Juno nomination.
Yes.
So what does the recognition mean to you, and how does it reflect your identity as a comedian?
Oh man, these are really good questions, guys. These are really good questions. No, it's great, man. And you know what I mean. Like that's like the Canadian Grammy. So like I didn't think that was gonna happen. Tell you, I told my producer Barry Taylor from Comedy Records. He's like, I'm like, you don't have to submit it. I don't give a shit. You know what I mean? And like it's like the same thing. Like I say, like Canada is like they're just starting now to like open up more ethnic voices. You know what I mean? Like there was this one show called Corner Gas. Like just a bunch of white people in a gas station, and the show was so big that they just turned it into a cartoon. There was no like Kim's Convenience was like one of the, you know what I mean? Yeah. It opened up some doors, but like it wasn't. They're just starting to listen to ethnic voices, and I just literally did my first. I had another album called Gynecology, right? And that was like skits and just funny ass jokes. But this one was more like I talk about like mind you, this came out in I recorded 2020-ish. So I was talking about, like topics that were big back then, like, like white privilege, about like Goku gotta be blonde hair, blue eyes to power up. And like, how come you always see like chicken fingers and fries in the buffet? Like, things like that. You know what I mean? Like it's just stupid shit like that. And then I was just talking my truths, the stuff that we talk about at Mahjong. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? So then, but again, it all because I did all these universal funny jokes as a Canadian. So I had to do like, I had to go to the fucking farmland to perform for these white people, or like really thick Caribbean like spots, with like Guyanese, Trinis, and Jamaicans, and like, you know what I mean? And you had to do all these. Me and Norm do all these like Caribbean, like Caribana after party shows, like, so you had to do all this stuff to be universal, but you didn't have your Filipino jokes. Does that make sense? And then I went to the States, and I was like, oh, shit. I could just be me and talk the shit that we talk in our basement. Yeah. So then I started doing those jokes, and then I put that on Trillapino, right? Because that's what I call it, Trill is like too real, and like, So I was like, no, this is just me talking my shit. And that's why I told Barry, I'm like, don't even put it for the Junos. They're not going to fucking understand it.
Yeah.
They're going to hate me for all the shit I'm saying. And they're like, no, this is great stuff, pal. We want more of it, chap. And and then when I got the thing, I was like, oh, done. Sick. So then we just recorded our next album in San Diego. So I wanted to like, I picked a big, highly Filipino populated place, and I just did another album, kind of like upped it.
Love that.
So that album's coming out. Yeah,
when does that come out?
Oh, it's going to be coming out probably last quarter of this year.
Okay.
You got a name for it?
Manny Stackow.
All right. He didn't even like that.
Manny Stackow, bro. No, I'm claiming that right now, bro. But it's gonna be a nice one.
That's
I'm very
awesome.
happy with this one.
I love that.
Yeah,
So
I'll give you guys the
oh,
plug.
I'm sorry.
I'll give you guys the plug before it comes out. You guys can
Yes,
listen to it
please
bumping in this
do.
crazy Bobby Schmurder audition room.
About a week ago.
I can't.
This is our part of the show where it's called our This or That game that we like to play.
Oh,
You're
okay.
in the hot seat.
Yes.
This or that,
Real
okay.
simple. Just pick one or the other.
Okay.
And that's that. So, you want...
Oh, yes.
This or that. Okay, go.
Okay. So T-Dot or the 6?
Oh, T-Dot.
Okay.
That's a good question. That was good. That was a good question.
Performing at the Just for Laughs Fest or the CBC Comedy Festivals?
Man. I mean, shoot. Whew. That's a hard one, man. Well, Just for Laughs does some CBC stuff. I would only say when Just for Laughs was at its peak, it's fun ass time because they had a lot of parties. You know what I mean? They had a lot of parties. They had the Funny or Die party, Netflix is a joke party. They had like all these open bar and you know what I mean? I'm Filipino, but don't tell me fucking open bar, bro. I'm gonna pick that. And CBC had open bar parties too, but but yeah, I'll pick that just in the peak of it.
Okay. So Filipino food or Canadian comfort food?
What? That's not even a question. Filipino food, easy. You know how hard it is? It's cold in fucking Canada. You know what I mean? You need tinola. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
You need that arascaldo. You need that shit, bro. You can't just be fucking cold and eat a hamburger. What are you gonna do? You can't do that with strep throat.
All right. Russell Peters' Filipino accent. pass or trash? Does he get the thumbs up approval?
Oh man, because I know his boy's Filipino. He has a lot of Filipino boys, so I would say he gets the pass because like, you know what I mean. And his wife's Filipino. His new wife's Filipino now too. So you know, so he knows our people. You know what I mean?
It came off good, but I was just
Yeah.
I get the fellow comedian's perspective on that.
No, he's from a city called Brampton, and there's besides the Indians, there's a lot of Filipinos there too. So like, you can tell he grew up with them. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Okay. Toronto Raptors or the Toronto Maple Leafs?
Oh, the Raptors, man. Raptors. My son was born. I had 2 twin boys. My son, 2019, his middle name's Kawhi. That's how we ride. Bro, that's how we fucking ride. And it was crazy, too, because I had him in 2019 February. So my wife's like, you gonna do this guy? Like, you're going to name him? And I'm like, middle name? I'm like, yeah, we don't know what he's going to do yet. Then they won the championship. I'm like, oh, fuck, maybe first name. And then he left. I'm like, nope, middle name is good. Yeah, middle name, we got it right.
Break that.
So, yeah,
That's
no,
so
yeah. I don't even watch the Maple Leafs. Are you crazy?